right to Geordie Journos back at St James's Park. Back him on the points.
Yeah.
That was more like it, eh?
Yeah,
Very much so. Very much so. Brilliant, I thought, from 1 to 11. I said to you with full time, we said out in last week's video, identity crisis. I thought we'd do that performance as Newcastle United's identity. Just how you think about them, gave absolutely everything that result. So it was a much needed result and performance after last week. Because last week was, for much it was only Newcastle United's first defeat of the season, it felt like it was coming for a long time. We needed a reaction. Eddie Howe said that in his press conference, and they got that today. So my brief thoughts, I'm really pleased with that one.
Intensity. What you asked him in the press conference, didn't you? About intensity and identity, and
yeah, that was lacking parts last season, and then certainly the start of this season that came back today. And I think one player who epitomised that, and Eddie Howe said epitomised that, was Anthony Gordon. Yeah. Leading the line, leading by example. That energy he shows, signing a new contract, so he says. And
he's already revealed that now, hasn't he?
Basically, yeah.
Eddie Howe refused to reveal it, but Anthony Gordon's then gone on TV and said, "I've signed a new contract."
Well, asked Eddie Howe,
he did. I didn't know that.
Dom, just tell us.
Well, Anthony Gordon said he basically had no doubts about signing a new deal. He's wanted to sign it for a long time. Ask Eddie Howe, has Anthony Gordon signed a new deal? How close is it? And he went, well, we said it was close yesterday. Hopefully, it's even closer.
Doesn't like you.
No.
He didn't say it was close on Friday though.
No. So
I don't know what he's talking about, but that sums up Eddie Howe. Yeah. Sorry, we're starting off with butchering Eddie Howe to start this video.
Oh, we're going to be so nice this week now.
No, we are though, because we're all very happy. As you can tell on our faces, we're all very happy.
It was a really much needed performance, and a really good performance from 1 to 11. I thought Bruno is probably his best performance of the season. Certainly Anthony Gordon's best performance of the season. Joe Linton was a lot better. In parts, he had his moments, but I thought he was much better compared to what he had been. Certainly in the recent away games. And yeah, so Lewis Hall again, another really good performance.
I was just going to say one thing that I cannot look over in that game. Lewis Hall, his strong suit is not defending. I thought he defended brilliantly. The blocks, his positioning, everything about him today, he had to be in the right place.
Against two wingers as well.
Exactly, and different kind of threats. Against one of the best midfielders on the planet, and Bernardo, who can unlock any door at any given point. He was just brilliant, Lewis Hall. From a lad who's still learning his game, who lacks that defensive... He's not a defensive fullback, that's just what he is. He likes getting forward, and he gives a good balance to the team when he plays. And I thought he was excellent today. Like you say, Bruno was excellent. But I cannot look past that from Anthony Gordon. I'm so pleased for him. Like, genuinely, I said this on the live. Anybody who watches the lives, they'll know how much I wax lyrical about Gordon on there. But I think he answered so many questions today. We'd all had the feeling, and Eddie Howe got asked. You asked Eddie Howe about Anthony Gordon's body language, and I think anybody in the stadium was wondering the same thing. He hasn't come back the same player. We've talked in depth previously about how he'd played football for 2 years non-stop and hadn't really had that break. It appears now that I think he was as frustrated as anybody that his performances weren't, and he wasn't at the level that he was previously. That was clear as day today. This afternoon, I think the grabbing of the shirt, the way he felt that goal, his tireless running and performance, he was just a constant nuisance. Somebody in the live described him as almost like a Jamie Vardy-like performance up front, and there was sort of similarities to that kind of that nuisance sort of quick, not give you a minute's peace. I could not be happier for the lad, because I think everybody, it would be wrong of you not to have doubted what the hell's going on with Anthony Gordon.
After last week.
After last week, and his body language at Wolves wasn't great, and you're sort of like, I think it's clear as day now when you see what he did and how he feels, and he went big guns in the corner with the crowd and everything. I think the body language is him frustrated at himself, and him frustrated not playing at the levels he knows he can play at. That to me answered so much. I'm so happy as well, because we've always, he was a strange character when he came, that he was unlovable when he played for Everton, wasn't he really?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
You didn't like him.
No, I didn't.
I
remember I rated him as a player.
Yeah.
I used to say he's really good, but he's a right bleep. We'll not make you put the bleep in today.
House.
He was.
Right.
But he's come here and he has been because of the levels of effort that he's put in. Even when the qualities evaded him, he's always been almost the one who run the furthest, who put the most effort in. It didn't really feel like that this season, so we fell in love with him, and it was a bit like questioning this season. It was like, is he there? The Liverpool stuff was there. Is there a problem mentally? Is it? I think just looking at him today, I think he's answered that. It was purely him being frustrated at himself, not playing at the levels that he know he can do.
Do you think the contract situation, because it is close, or if it might be signed?
He said it's done, hasn't he?
Right. So
basically,
it's going to happen.
I'll
right?
get
So
that exactly.
I think mentally for him, I think that's massive. And I mentioned this on the video after press comments on Friday. Anthony Gordon probably went from a lad from his best season to. Sorry, I've been just go on, read out that tweet.
Go on, read it. Read it
Yeah,
out.
he said via Premier League Productions, so yeah, that video will be doing the rounds somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't need any persuading to stay here. I've been excited to sign the contract for a long time. It shows my commitment to the club, which has never been in question.
So I think he's went from a person who had his best season, disappointing the Euros, to then thinking he's going to be at Newcastle for years, to having that Liverpool the question mark, and I think mentally that needs a reset. And I think because of the PSR situation, it sounded like everyone was up for sale, and that there was talks of Liverpool. So how does that make Anthony Gordon feel? So I think there needs to be a commitment from the club as well as him as well. So I think that contract is a massive mental thing for him. So having that contract signed, which sounds like it's been obviously wrapped up and done this week, heading into the game, you've got the whole flags display as well at the start.
That meant a lot to him, didn't it?
I think it
you
has
just
to.
See, like, that was the thing before the game. We were sort of debating about, was it a good thing, is it a bad thing? It's a positive thing for players, but would that bring the extra bit? And it did. It brought that extra level to his game.
I think it's Newcastle.
Feeling that love.
It's Newcastle at its best. From a club point of view, they've recognised had a really difficult start. They've backed him with a new contract, which he deserves based off last season's performances. And then you've got the fans today, which I thought was a really well-timed display of that from a player that took. Let's be honest, he looked a shadow of the player he was last year. He looked zapped of any sort of, I would say, interest, energy. He just looked like a player that had a lot on and wasn't there. But today that was the Anthony Gordon we all know and love. That's Anthony Gordon that you associate all his best qualities. Running in behind, as I would describe him as relentless in terms of his running. But that's why he's became a fan's favourite here. And if you can get him playing that route again, then say Newcastle have got as we know, they've got an absolutely fantastic player on the hands.
Was it a penalty though? Because that was well debated.
What, the actual penalty?
Yeah.
It was a penalty. Well, I don't get why it's up for debate.
You keep kind of come out like that, fly at you like that.
Did Shearer say it wasn't?
Alan Shearer said it wasn't.
Alan!
Come on, Alan. Come on, Alan.
Pep was sort of dismissive of it. He said, I didn't see it, but a penalty's a penalty.
Alan, I've seen you go over like that before. We're in the Gallagher end today, just to give you a different, like to say, a different view, perspective. We'll always try and give you these little different windows into St James's Park if you can't be here. But we're not far away from my old seat up in the Gallagher. You didn't sit too far away from here. A little bit up there as well. Alan, I've sat in this Gallagher end. I've seen you go over in that box right behind me, just like that. So I think he's almost playing to the crowd a little bit there. Love him, legend, my hero, but I think he's playing to the crowd to appear to not have bias.
Yeah.
That's a penalty, and he knows it. He would have went over the same.
I think Eddie Howe summed it up right. If you run it at any sort of pace, if you take any sort of knock, and Anthony Gordon, if he feels any sort of knock and the ball's a little bit getting away from him, you're going to go down, and it's actually quite hard to stay on your feet if you do take that knock.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Eddie Howe summed it up fairly well, and Premier League explained the decision in the match centre.
Did they?
Yeah, explaining the VAR stuff.
I honestly didn't think it was in doubt.
Once he went down, that's the on-field decision. I think if Jared Gillette doesn't give a penalty,
the man can get.
I was thinking that. I thought it was Gillett.
Gillette.
The best the man can get.
I remember it. That's how I remember.
Good decision.
Gillett.
Good decision.
Anthony Gordon's the best Alexander Isak replacement you can get.
Yeah, didn't miss Isak, and that's credit to Anthony Gordon's performance.
Little update on him as well.
Go on then.
Well,
it'll be out there now, like you'll have seen it.
Yeah, it was just couldn't play today. Won't play against Wimbledon. Probably touch and go for next weekend. But he also explained about him being an international player. There's still a chance he could go away with Sweden, but I think we've.
So we'll say go away Sweden in March then.
I put it to you guys in the group chat this morning. The information I had this morning was that Isak was very, very unlikely to feature until after the international break. So,
and yeah,
would you risk him? I don't know.
Eddie Howe's never
he wouldn't play Tuesday night anyway, so
no,
it's only Everton, isn't it? It's only Everton really the one.
Yeah.
And Anthony Gordon will be fired up for that, hopefully. Even though he's yet to properly.
I'm trying to think of his performances against Everton.
He missed.
He was banned.
The one last season, the 1-1 draw. Had a tough game.
Did he miss a chance or two down there in that one we got beat?
Yeah, in the 3-0, but no one played.
He came off the bench when they won 4-1.
Yes.
And then he started last year, but didn't really get a kick. So maybe
he's got a point to prove.
Yeah, maybe play them as a central striker down there. Might
get some
a bit more joy.
There won't be a threesome down there though. I've just explained that on the live to everybody. There's going to be just a little bit of T's and C's for us. There's not going to be any live from Wimbledon because I'll be here as a fan with me 2 kids. I might actually send you a video. We're going to have a little cameo from over in the East Stand.
Well, no. So what you do is you leave your kids in where they start, right? And you come and do Geordie journals after the game.
Sit there, shut up. I'm going to do Geordie journals. No,
I mean, it's happened. You and me have done a video.
We have. Go and play in the park. We'll do a video. No, we don't want to say that too loud. Social services might be on.
You were within.
I was within. I could see them.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
That's safe, man. They're old enough. They're not toddlers or anything. Don't worry about that. We'll put you. That'd be quite nice. Would you put it in? Do you send a video? We'll send a video from the East Stand.
Okay.
And just edit it in.
Please do.
Yeah, we'll do that. Or even after the game, a little assessment.
You
could add it in.
Okay.
So there will be all of win there. But no live Everton either because I'm away.
Yeah.
I've got another little
one from the beach.
It's one of them where
I could send you from Greece.
Don't commit to too much. Enjoy your holiday.
I need one.
Me and Dom can't really do lives because we are snowed
Speaking
under.
to Eddie Howe.
You're just lazy. Pull your finger out, lads.
Hey, how man.
You need to make your mind up. You say we're hard working, then you say we're lazy.
You're the most hard-working, lazy journalist. Silliness.
You're the most lazy, hard-working journalist.
I'm lazy and hard-working when I want to be. I'm the type. I'm not like Anthony Gordon where I'm just at it all the time.
When you're at it, you're at it.
Yeah.
I wasn't at it.
Just when you choose
maybe
to be.
St Maximin or something like that.
I was trying to go. I wasn't at my best today. Like
you were.
I wasn't.
Don't put yourself down.
I wasn't at my best.
You've been good on this video. They'll like you out there. The fans will like you.
Oh well, let's bring it back to earth, back to St James's Park.
Right. So the other one I was going to mention was. Oh, can I actually say this so that everybody knows it as well? There was reports that Yasser Al-Rumayyan was going to be here, and it was.
Yeah, we said in our video he's going to be here.
It was our understanding he was going to be here because we'd had that information. He's been in London this week. But he was not at the game today. Greg Norman from Live Golf was here, and there was some other representatives from the Middle East and from PIF related companies. However, Yasser Al-Rumayyan was not here, but I do believe he was meant to be here. Read into that what you will, good, positive, negative, I don't really care at this point in time because I'm just happy with what I've seen on the pitch. And ultimately, everything that goes on off the pitch has big concerns, some of it, issues, has a knock-on effect on everything, but realistically, if the team keeps doing that on the pitch, it softens everything else that's going on off it. So I don't think things are all rosy, and I'm not sure why Yasser Al-Rumayyan wasn't here today, but it's definitely one that might have an effect moving forward. I don't think it's had any major concerns. The bloke could have just had another meeting. He's one of probably the highest profile business people or business executives on the planet, really, when you think of the companies and operations that he's involved with. So yeah, I don't know if we read too much, or we don't, or we do. I don't really know, but he was meant to be here and wasn't. Back to as the bottles go everywhere. They're clearing out here at St James, but we're always the last ones in here. I wanted to talk about Sandro Tonali. Sandro Tonali was handing his first start today, and an interesting first half. I mentioned it on the live. We were right in front of Eddie Howe and Kieran Trippier, who I thought put in. We'll come on to him. I want to talk about Trippier as well because I thought he put in a real captain's performance. I think that was the first time this season we've heard him loud and proud. Almost he had that armband without having it, I thought, today. But Tonali, a little bit of a performance. He was having to be talked through a lot of the out of ball stuff in the first half, and he wasn't quite at it. Second half, like he came out and just something was
the man
lit inside
possessed
him.
for
Wasn't
about
he?
20
was.
minutes, wasn't he?
So what I would say about Tonali is, from what I've seen from him, I think he's a better player when Newcastle are on top. That probably sounds so simple, but he seems to come into his own when Newcastle are going for games. Wolves, for example, pushing to get an equaliser, then go for a winner. Today, came alive when Newcastle United are pushing for an equaliser, and then actually they feel they might actually go and get a second here. I think it was about 10-15 minutes spell in the second half. He's getting a tussle with Jack.
Oh, he was
Jack
in the right
Grealish.
goal, wasn't he?
Him and Grealish were having a few verbals and
I like Grealish. Like.
in it, and they were.
Yeah. The crowd didn't like him today.
I like him though. I think he's a top.
We
player.
saw the Fabian Schär and Jack Grealish coming together, wasn't it?
Give our honestly.
Fabian Schär was
Schär milked that,
got up
didn't
to
he?
think, actually, I better not do that again. I better not put my head where his head is, otherwise I'll be off. So no, but yeah, I'd say about Tonali, I think tactically, I do think he's still got a lot to. Maybe not a lot, but he has got lessons probably still there to learn. But does that come with playing? Probably does, doesn't it? But because we had a really good view in the first half of Tonali, Trippier, how, and it was constant communication.
It was like watching Miggy getting talked through games again, wasn't it? Like in front of, and it was Tonali constantly being barked at by Howe. Move, tuck in, he was just at him all the time, and Trippier was the same. But I think that's obviously, maybe he's talking about Trippier now. I think he really stood up today. Yes, he got done a couple of times inside. That's the life of a fullback. It happens.
Yeah.
You're not always going to get it perfect against top class players.
Yeah.
And he probably wasn't great for the goal. I thought Dan Burn was poor for the goal. But
He
I
did
thought
everything else
overall,
well.
I thought he led really well.
Yeah.
We got a bit concerned when after 5 minutes he was feeling his hamstring or his backside or something?
And then he done that, didn't he? He was like, oh,
He went to that was 5 minutes in. He went.
That meant rotate a right boot by the looks of it.
I think it did.
changed
Yeah.
his boot.
Change. He was even changed his boots. Didn't he?
So that's.
Yeah.
How said, because he explained why both of them went off, he said Tonali was cramp, and then Trippier will hope is cramp, but not 100% sure, so a potential concern there as well.
We're also 95%, you're 90% sure that we also seen Sandro Tonali with his Insta famous girlfriend as well, who had appeared like they had broken up this summer. Don't know if that'll be public knowledge by the end of this, but they looked to walk off with Eddie Howe. We only seen her from behind. The hair looked identical to his girlfriend, so that'll be another good thing because they were a sort of lovely couple online.
Yeah.
She loved the training ground, didn't
She loved the training ground. She was involved in those videos, and then obviously walking the dog. You used to see them walking around Gosforth, didn't you?
Gosforth, aye.
She was a big fan and advocate of Tyneside.
She was.
Aye.
Bamburgh Castle and all that
They
kind
went
of stuff.
around,
And
yeah. Big fan of Gosforth.
big week for Tonali.
Yeah, because hopefully he's all right.
Making up with his lass, possibly.
Yeah, hopefully he's all right to play against Wimbledon as well.
Yeah,
Start
always.
that game, and then that's a game where realistically he has the chance to pull the strings, really run the show, and
Did you
hopefully
play
he
against
can-
Wimbledon?
No.
You don't think?
Not really gone out of cramp, probably just rest them,
That's the
wouldn't it?
problem.
Like
but
Longstaff and Willock play, don't they?
I think, but how said fitness with Tonali, he needs to get back up to speed. So is that not?
If he's all right, it just seemed an interesting way to treat cramp with a ice pack on his knee, like. It was said just cramp, but it might be cramp. It might, I don't know.
I don't question these things anymore because I didn't know that Callum Wilson's back was ready to his hamstring, so I don't question these things.
I mean, you're
back's
not
related to
you're not an
everything.
injury expert, to be fair.
No, but
Although
apparently
it does, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Well,
plenty
apparently the
before.
hamstring and the knee's the same thing as well. So
hamstring and Achilles today.
no, your
that?
hamstrings.
Your back makes a big difference. Like it is connected. Like
Aye.
it
I'm
does.
not
It's hard
a
to play with a bad back.
I'm not a medical expert.
Never done it, Dom. Never played to any level. As somebody so kindly put out on Twitter this week,
Oh, really?
and I took a bit of criticism. Yeah, never said I played at any
You
level.
play
but
5-a-side and something
Hey,
7s
you've played.
I've
Yeah.
played. I've scored here. So shut your mouth.
at this end.
You've also fell down there in
Yes,
slow
just
motion.
fine, just fine. Yeah. I've got so much respect for Lewis Hall. What a performance today! I had to deal with that hill down there because it toppled me the first time I played here, going down the hill.
The slowest fall in St James's Park.
I tried to
history.
stay up.
I know you did that. I can
did.
see it.
I tried so hard.
But look,
Hey.
you banished them demons because you went and
Mate,
scored the year
this is
after.
the thing. I say to you, make a mistake, get on the ball again straight away. I jumped back on the horse and scored a cracker on my left foot down
Exactly,
here.
well done.
We've never mentioned this on here
Only
before.
took
I don't
you
think
there.
I don't think anybody's heard that
What?
on the Geordie journals. I scored at St James's Park.
At the Gallagher end, no
Yeah.
less.
I'm not sure you did. Like. I'm not sure.
You know I did.
I had a
know
good
I did.
view of it.
Turned you inside out that day.
I think you did. I didn't see you.
No, I did. I did.
Right, we're self-indulgent. What?
Yeah, back to the game again.
I broke my foot though. Damaged my foot in that game.
Did you?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Not your toe.
Not me too. Come on, Alexander. Keep playing. Right.
But Bruno, in talking about banishing demons, I thought after an awful game at Fulham, he was back.
Bruno was a bit
Back
like
to his best.
Bruno and Gordon were like it was Newcastle's worst performance, and it was almost some of their worst performances.
We've seen,
and like literally today, it was like lighting a fire with both of them. Bruno comes in and out of games. He's very influential in the way Newcastle United flow as a team.
Yeah.
And even if he's not creating goals or winning tackles, just everything flows through him. And when he's on form and when he's playing, it builds everything and everybody around him. He lifts them all up, and I think he was really crucial today.
We said midweek on our Shots TV video, and I think it was after Fulham as well, that we thought it was a system problem with these players. I think we've seen a system tweak.
Because they were different. The intensity was there. It was that
But it was what I was getting at was the Dan Burn pushed up
it was.
in the midfield.
So the gap last week was like, if the gap was that last week between defence and midfield, it was that today.
Yeah.
And it made a big difference.
Yeah.
Yes, then you've got the gap behind, but it closed those holes up. And although Newcastle United were camped, they do get pushed back into a bit of a block against Manchester City, as they do every team.
Yeah.
But I thought they actually dealt with it really well. They didn't look like they were going to get broken down, I
I
thought.
think in the Premier League that's the best they've played against Man City.
Do you think?
Yeah,
I said that well,
because
didn't
I actually thought we threatened them a bit.
yeah, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you remember the 3-3, as good a result it was, Newcastle were 3-1 up, and they were hanging on at the end.
Were I?
The 3-2 back here, they played well for the first half, or for about 20 minutes, where they got ahead in the game. Second half was one-way traffic for the most part. Today, it was an even game throughout.
Yeah.
I thought Newcastle was slightly unlucky to go behind. It was a mistake, and Man City punished them, but then deservedly equalised and then had chances, and Man City had chances. It was a good game of Premier League football today between two good sides, which I think is the biggest compliment you can give Newcastle.
So if you do you want to add anything?
I was just going to say about City missing big players, but I don't want to take anything away from Newcastle.
Newcastle
They weren't very
missing,
good. They weren't very good.
No, that's what I want to say. I don't think they were very good, but I don't want to discredit Newcastle for their performance. I just think it's probably worth noting that Man City, Man City were without two of their key midfielders and two of the best midfielders on the planet, in Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne. But
You need to cut
anyway,
that bit up there.
No.
keep it in, man.
No, I mean cut that bit up, like just.
Oh,
But as a short.
It'll be me and Eddie Howe's next press conference, and I'll put the microphone on.
Imagine how would you react? How do you think you?
I don't think I would ever step foot inside that
Well, they're
media
live,
centre
aren't
ever
they?
again.
Yeah. Everyone would
Everyone
know.
on YouTube.
I'm manifesting this now.
Jordan Cronin.
I might have to skip the press conference on
Wait.
Monday now for a few.
Right, we need to stop being silly. Let's get this video.
Just 'cause I
Let's get some. It's all right. You could have come on the live. Don't worry.
No,
Someone like one of the ground staff nearly came in there.
We'll block me.
Pep Guardiola and Eddie Howe were sort of waxing lyrical about each other at the end as
I
well. Eddie Howe, you're not having it.
No, I say I love Pep.
I love it. I love him.
No, but they had a good
Yeah.
conversation on the pitch after the game.
If he says good things about you, you know you're good. I want to know what he said. I don't know what he said about Eddie Howe or what he said about the.
Pep Guardiola said that he told Eddie Howe that he admires him and the way he approached the game with his team.
He said Newcastle are impossible to contain for 90 minutes. They're a very good team. Sorry, you were
No,
saying.
just so it was real classy comments from Pep. Said the last season there was only one reason why Newcastle weren't at their best, and that was because of injuries. Spoke about the intensity. He pretty much named every player on the team for how they
Did he?
performed. I love Pep. Say this.
I love him as
There's
well.
differences with classy managers, and Pep for me is
there's
the
a-
ultimate
yeah,
classy
We
manager.
know who the one who isn't classy
Yeah.
and the one who is. There's a
Yeah.
big difference, and it's a shock to think he was his number 2 for so long, because they're very, very different.
Naming no names.
Yeah,
I was
they're very
thinking about
different.
a recently departed Liverpool manager as well.
Oh, him and I quite like him as well, though.
Well, you can't question what he's done in the game, but
No,
Pep Guardiola, the best manager on the planet, and the ultimate.
Well, Eddie Howe said one of the best ever.
well, there's no doubt. I think you go
Changed
down
football.
the way that he's transformed English football in since he's been here. Every team tries to play like Pep Guardiola's team.
For better or worse.
Yeah, they're not all good at it, but and it's not always the most fluent attacking way.
I think
But
football's slightly less entertaining.
Just to show the influence that somebody's had on a game, it's quite incredible.
Yeah.
I love him. I love his style. I love his swagger. I love the way he talks.
like these,
I love it. I love it. He always wears his nice CP company jumper. I love it. I love it. It's my favourite brand out there. If anybody wants to, never mind. Thanks, Geordie Journals. You want to get me a CP company jumper, just like Pep Guardiola.
No, speaking of thanks though, new tripod.
Yes, we've got a really good tripod. Now
Look.
the next.
Wind.
It's got
I'll take a
it's,
picture
instead of
with
one
me.
leg, it's got three, so it's really it's really hard to wobble.
Well, thanks to the people who actually donated and mentioned
yes.
for the tripod.
Thank you so
you
much.
lads.
Because there's no expense spared. How much you got it off Temu, didn't you? For $240.
Way down. No, it's a good tripod. It's a proper one.
Good, Nick.
Yes.
Sourced by your good lady.
Yes.
Thank you very much out there, Nicole, for that fantastic find.
Classy gesture.
Classy gesture.
Just need the mic now. But
Well, we're gonna get the new mic is on its way.
Aye.
Because we've lost a few.
It's a
But
good
we're going to
mic.
pay the big money for this one to hopefully the sound levels increase. Everton's probably a closer one. I think we
Yeah.
can get it for.
I mean, the award nomination at the
Yeah.
Football Content Awards very much a reality check because you you go, right, we're an award nominated channel, vote for us if you haven't already. We'll put the link in the description in the comments. Yeah, we need we're always striving to improve, but yeah, we need to be as good as possible.
Well, we see who we're up against. We're up against like people who've got millions of followers. So every vote you put in there, it might be a drop in the ocean compared to these other people. But I would like to think we will get recognised for being that bit different, because we are very different to anybody else in those. They've got their own website, some of them, which costs us a fortune.
So do we in some ways.
We just use other websites which you actually employ and pay wages.
Check out Newcastle World and Shields Gazette.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The place to be. Anyway, T's and C's. Four Rivers Financial Plan, it'll be in one of the corners, be down here. Like I said, any money that we do get donated does go into the channel. This new tripod, soon to be anything else. What do you think we need? What do you think we need? I don't know. But anything, the money that does come in, there's a little thanks button. You can donate. Do like, comment, share, subscribe. There's a bell there you can click if you love all your Geordie Journals videos. You can get involved. We have a community here. We're regular posting into the community. I'm going to put something in this afternoon suggesting who you think was man of the match. Do vote in that. There's also a Facebook community that we have if you want to be involved in that.
Member boost this morning, wasn't it?
I don't know where this came from, but we had 247 requests when we normally get one a week.
Yeah.
247.
We've
I
got-
think Jordan's mum's been posting for all the workmates to come in.
We'll have to give my mother a shout out because, yes, there was a lot of names that
What's your
requested.
mum's name? Tell everyone what your mum's name is.
Susan.
Susan
Cronin.
Cronin.
And yeah, she's invited her whole friends to the Facebook group. So thank you for that, Mum. You boosted our numbers.
This is beautiful. So if
classy.
Real family connection.
we're
This episode.
going to have.
We're family men at the end
There's
of the
going
day.
to there's going to be a
We
there's
are.
going to be a cameo from William and Freya Kennedy.
get
We're going to get soaking. William and Freya Kennedy on Tuesday night. Susan Cronin
Susan
coming
Cronin.
in. Your wife, your beautiful wife to be
Yes.
soon. Oh, well,
Yeah, you've said it. You've said it about 5 times on.
He's getting married, you know, next year.
Yeah. You scored it here, you know.
I did. You've never done that.
I scored a penalty. I
You
didn't bottle
did.
my penalty. Just missed the year before.
Right. So what was I saying? Yeah, we'll be going to the awards, so please do vote. Honestly, like any help, any thanks, any likes, any comments, we love interacting. I think that's one of the things that makes us stand out from all the other people who do YouTube videos, particularly covering Newcastle United, is we actually care. There's actually a person at the other end of this video, whether it's Jordan, whether it's Don, whether it's me, we'll always try and answer your questions
Yeah.
and get involved in conversation, because ultimately that's kind of what we do for. This isn't churning out content money maker thing for us, which other
No.
people do. This isn't our job. We get paid from a company to do our jobs. This is just our way of giving our opinions in a totally different format to what we do and having
Yeah.
conversations with you guys out there.
I think someone summed it up perfectly in the comments, and this is what we do. If we go to the pub afterwards, it'll pretty much be the
Yeah.
same thing. It's like this camera is just like another person standing there, we're huddling around speaking after the game
Yeah.
almost. So yeah,
He doesn't say much.
I don't think he's ever said
say a lot
anything.
in the comments.
He's a good listener.
He's a bit taller now, a bit sturdier.
He is, He's not so wobbly. He was looking a bit thin before with his one leg.
He's just all grown up.
He is, yeah. I'm proud. Anyway.
It's got to see this video. I hope that portrays we're actually really happy
Well,
with.
probably, isn't it? I think people
yeah.
will see that.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing you'll always get from us is like, if we're not
Lowest
feeling
of
it,
the
you'll
low from
know.
highest
But
of
if
high.
we're feeling it, you'll
Yeah.
feel it too.
Yeah.
And I hope everyone did enjoy that, because we enjoyed it. And it's nice to see Newcastle United getting results. And it means everyone else can enjoy the weekend, because it's pretty crap when we don't get results.
No, it's crisis. Well,
Your weekend's ruined, isn't it?
it does
Oh,
ruin
In a
it.
lot of ways.
Honestly, it shouldn't. It's so silly. Football's largely irrelevant.
You
in the
try and
grand scheme of
convince
life.
yourself you don't care.
I hate it. I switch off from everything else. When Newcastle
of the
don't
day
win, I
doesn't
can't
go
watch match of the day. I never watch. Today, I'll watch every bit of highlights. But like last weekend, how did they get on? No idea. I've not looked at anything. And you're probably like that too, if you like us. So shall we cut it there so we can get this video uploaded?
Yes.
Today
Hopefully soon.
to
Use
get
the St James's Park Wi-Fi boost while
and
we're
then we
having.
can go and treat ourselves with a pint. And is
Definitely.
there a late kick-off? We can maybe get.
No, maybe.
Ah, that's a good shout.
We'll do that.
Who is
Right.
it?
Good night from me.
Good night.
From him.
Good night.
Good night from the Geordie Journals. Thank you for all your support. T's and C's, whatever.
Yeah,
What we do?
you've done
I've
it all.
Good night.
We'll see you on Monday, me and Jordan, for Eddie Howe's press conference ahead of the Wimbledon game. See you there.